Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello, good evening, Qatar. Good evening, Doha. How's everyone? All doing good? By the way, this is my first time in Qatar. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I reached here yesterday evening. I didn't get enough time to go around and see Qatar, inshallah. I'm going to be here till this weekend, till this event is over. I'm believing that I will be able to enjoy this city. If you have any places, suggestions, do let me know. Thank you, thank you. By the way, guys, am I audible? Am I audible to everybody? Yes, great. Thank you. By the way, my name is Muhammad, as he mentioned. I am from India, but I'm coming from the UAE. I've been living in UAE for 20 plus years. I grew up in that country, just like many of you grew up in this country. So my passion is photography and motorsports. And recently I've been into motorcycling content creation. Also, I do podcast, mainly for GCC region, but my contents are based from UAE. So, of course, you can also support me by following my channel. I'm here to talk about content creation. By the way, don't get surprised, the orientation of the pictures, I'm seeing it now, it's a bit funny. But I kept this picture as the first one. If you see the Land Cruiser here, look at the plate, Qatar. You see, but this was not taken in Qatar, it was in UAE. There was a festival, a drift festival, which was happening, I believe, 2 years ago, and I had a chance to get these pictures. So what I love is about taking pictures of action. It took years for me to understand what I really love. As you can see, this is another one. I'm a bit, nervous about the orientation of the picture. I hope you will forgive me the way it looks. So I have tried different kinds of photography in my life. I always was in a hunt to find out what I really love. And over the period of time, I realized I love moving pictures, as in I like to capture when there is action. It could be motorsports, it could be events like this, it could be wildlife as well. And wildlife, I'm going to try soon, maybe end of this month. So these are the things I really love. And I love portraits. I love light trail pictures. This is, again, back in Ras Al Khaimah. This is a beautiful city at night. I wanted to create light trails with slower shutter speed, where you keep the camera stand still and you leave the shutter open for a certain duration of the time, and you get these kind of effects. I had to wait maybe 45 minutes to get this picture because when I went, it was not a holiday and there were no many cars. And yet, I love this picture, but at the same time, it gives me a feeling that I should go and try this again. You know why? I had to wait to get all the cars on the road so you can see the lines everywhere. But if you look closer, there is one track here which is missing. I couldn't do it. Yes, I know few photographers out there who could use masking technique and manipulate the image, but I believe doing such things actually ruins my pleasure in capturing those moments. So I don't do it. The only thing I do with my pictures would be a bit of color correction. I don't do it a lot. So this is again from a 24 hours race, if you have heard of it. This happens every year in Dubai, where the racers race 24 hours non-stop. So basically, there are 4 drivers in one car. So everyone takes a break, they drive non-stop. So this was from 24 hours race in Dubai 2 years ago. This is from the Formula 1 in Abu Dhabi. This is Yas Marina circuit. And this is what I recently started, I mentioned earlier about. podcasts with motorcycle riders, passionate motorcycle riders who have special stories to communicate with the whole world. And also, I do motorcycle reviews and motorcycle-related contents. And yes, with photography. By the way, if you know this color combination, whoever is familiar in motorsports, and the number 46, you can barely see the number. Anyone here knows this number 46? Yes, please. Valentino Rossi, yes. So he participated in that race and he came first, by the way. That's nothing new, right? Okay. So as I said, I love moving pictures. I love to capture motion. And also, I love to do video as well. So this is from a boxing competition which happened a couple of months ago in Abu Dhabi. It was a great competition, and this was the winner, and I wanted to capture his joy, and I wanted to do it in a black and white style. I also capture a bit of video. Again, the orientation is not that great. And there is a music as well. Yeah, I think I can hear it now. Right. So this is about me. I started my photography journey back in 2006 because I got my first camera in 2006. That was a Canon 450D. Back in the days I was in high school. I didn't even know that I will be here today. Yep. And I had no idea how to use this camera. The reason I got that camera was to get blurred picture background. The portrait effect, you call it. I wanted to take pictures where the background is blurred. I didn't even know what was it called. I just got the camera. I spent around 8 to 9 months taking selfies and taking pictures of my nephews and nieces and my friends and family, bothering them a lot. And finally, I made a mistake, a lot of mistakes. I learned from my mistakes, and today I'm here. And yet, I wouldn't say I completed my learning curve. I'm learning every day. From the questions, from the circumstances, from the situations where we go and shoot pictures and videos. I also train for Canon, by the way. I'm a Canon trainer. I do both photography and videography training. So I've been using Canon all my life, and I really love them, regardless whether I represent Canon, because I started, as I said, from 2006 with Canon cameras. So these are the Canon mirrorless cameras, and they are very light and compact, which also makes it easy for every newcomer in photography to start using the camera and taking pictures. Why? Because I do meet a lot of students who find it a bit difficult when they switch from the mobile phone to the cameras. That was years ago, but now the transition has become very smooth. The reason is the cameras, the Canon cameras, they are very much user-friendly, and they have almost a similar UI design, and the experience will be very similar to how you use a smartphone. For example, I have a question. There's no, this is not an official question. I do have some questions at the end where I think we will be giving out some presents. But before that, this is a normal casual question. How do you take pictures with your phone? I know everybody takes pictures with your phone, right? Or video. How do you do it? You take out your phone, right? Aim at the subject, aim at the scene, and can you please interact with me? How do you do it? Can you tell me, please? You will adjust the exposure. Okay, very good. So you can make your picture brighter and darker.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you do it?
In the mobile,
By
we have options.
sliding up and sliding
up
down,
and sliding
right?
down, yeah.
But you don't know how it happens. Yes? Anyone else? Yes, you were, please, I'll come back to you. Yeah.
After light, use rules. Rules for third of rules or center or guideline. use the rules for photography.
Beautiful. I like it. So that's about composition, how you place your subject. That's very good. Yes, please. This gentleman.
When I use my phone, it's mostly about something quick, shooting friends, shooting an event, shooting an outing. So I don't play with the pro settings, exposure, and so on. First thing, I take my phone out, I choose the lens or photo or video, zoom out or zoom in. And then after that, a simple click, it does auto everything. That's for everyday scenario, including yourself.
Yep.
Very rare situations where I would have to adjust it. I want something artistic, or it's too dark, I turn on the flash, or I do increase the exposure, or adjust the ISO, or the f-stop, or whatnot. But for cameras, for the phones, 99% of the time, I just choose the lens and auto set, and done.
Great. Run and gun. Yes, great. Anyone else who wants to share their thoughts? Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with the lady there about the composition. It's the framing, I think, which when you are focusing, what you do is what you see is what you are going to get. So I think the framing plays a huge role in what outcome it's going to be. Definitely light is the number one.
Yes.
But how you're composing, how you're framing, and that's how, because you can just pick a phone and take a picture, but then it's going to be very random, you know. But I think that again comes out of practice.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, everyone. You know what I have learned? And I want to know your feedback, whether do you agree to that or not. What I have learned is photography is an art, yes? And every camera is like a pen. And your picture is what you write. Do you agree or no? So photography can be learned. Like, you know, I can teach you how to write A, how to write B, how to write C, and how does it sound, you know, and I can also make you read, and I can also make you write your own name with the English alphabets, or whatever the language is. But at the end of the day, it comes to you what to write, yes? So this is what photography has taught me. And also, if you hold the pen correctly, you can really write whatever you want to write. You can write it comfortably, and also it also affects how it looks. Do you agree to that or not? Yes? So holding the camera or holding the phone, in case, if you're using only the phone, also plays a very important role, which comes to the composition part. So some can take a picture like this, some can take a picture like this, some can take a picture like that. These three angles do have different meanings. So I'm going to go through the pictures, right? And we will go through and we will understand. Number one, I have two pictures here. By the way, this session, I'm not going to talk about the camera technicality at the beginning, because I have only 1 hour. So I'm going to make you understand, maybe because many of you won't even have cameras. You just have phone cameras. So how can you improve your photography? Yeah? That's what I'm going to focus on here. If I have more time, I would love to talk about the camera technicality too. So my question here, which picture do you pick? Which one do you like? The one on your left? Yes? Yeah. What is the reason? The leveling, the orientation. Again, the important part is how you hold your camera, right? So holding your camera plays a very important role. It doesn't matter whether you're taking a picture of a Lamborghini or something very simple. The basics are, and it doesn't matter what mode you're using, whether you took the picture in manual mode or automatic mode. As you said, you don't even have maybe time to set the exposure or set whatever the settings are. You just want to take the picture. You don't want to miss the action, right? So the basics is getting your hands comfortable around the camera, making sure how you can hold the camera comfortably. And there are a few things you need to keep in mind. Number one, don't keep your elbows too out. This is going to be very stressful. And I've seen many holding the camera so tight. I don't have a camera body here right now. Everything is there. By the way, you can check out our new cameras, and we have some exciting events happening today, tomorrow, day after. Until the end of the session, you can visit our booth as well. So holding the camera also, like too tight, is going to shake your camera. That is not going to be very comfortable. Relax your joints, all the joints. just hold it like the way you hold your pen. You got it. Moving on, you can also use a grid line, which can help you to see whether your picture is aligned or not. It can also help you to position your subject, whether you want to position the subject in the center or any of the intersecting points. The same goes for vertical lines, not just the horizontal, vertical lines. Now, I'm sorry about the orientation, okay? I hope you excuse me for that. When you look at this person in the picture, she is, mashallah, beautiful, but what emotion does she carry? Does she have a shy emotion or a confident emotion or a frightened emotion? What emotion do you see here in her eyes?
It's a pretty confident emotion, what I see.
Confident?
Yeah.
Do you agree? All of you? Good. My question, where is the camera placed? Is the camera placed same as her eye level, or below her eye level, or above her eye level? Below. So, do you watch movies? Yes? So, when you watch a powerful character scene introduction, it could be a villain, it could be a hero. Have you noticed there are mostly shots having low angle? The camera is always coming from low or some low angle shots. You know, camera being lower than your subject gives a meaning, a story, that the subject is powerful. You know? I mean, sorry to say this, but look at you guys. Now you are looking at me. You know? You know what I mean. This is how the world is. Now, if you watch pictures of powerful people around the world, real world, politicians, you know, all those people, you will see even the headshots, like portraits, the camera is slightly lower than their eye level. Now, I want you to imagine a picture of lion or tiger. What picture comes in your mind? Usually, the camera is straight, shows power. Try to take a picture next time. I mean, don't go too close, but try to take a picture from a higher angle. The lion or the tiger, they will look so cute. So going on higher angle makes your subject cute or weak. Now, this is a different example. I was talking about orientation. Now, I'm not saying you should take pictures always like, you know, how you write A and B. You can also break the rule. You can write your name left to right, right to left in a decent way. At the same time, you can break it. You can write your name diagonally. You can write it in a cursive letter form, different ways. So be creative. Nobody's going to stop you. And this is also a technique which I will talk about after a few minutes. But yes, I couldn't find a lion. I found a cat. I mean, it's the same family, I believe. Tigers, yes, they are cat, but I don't know about lion, though. Oh, well, scary. Okay, what emotion? Do you see the difference here? It's the same cat. The picture is taken like maybe 20 seconds apart. I went low, same as eye level, then I went higher. Do you see the difference? In that one, it looks hungry. Yes? In this one, it looks angry. Does it rhyme? So, again, holding the camera is very, very important. Now, if someone came here with a camera, yes, please. I can just quickly demonstrate you how the camera's design work. And this doesn't just apply to Canon cameras. Most of the cameras are like this. I mean, sorry, Canon guys. All right. See, you grip your cameras with right hand. And this is going to be one of the questions later. Okay? So you grip your camera with your right hand. And you see there are buttons here on top. The easier way to handle the camera is using your index finger for the trigger, which is the button we press for taking pictures, and the dials and buttons on top. You see that? So it's much more easier. Whatever is on the back side of your camera, you can use your right thumb. Again, if your screen is open, you can do it with this. With your left hand, how many of you play Xbox and PlayStation? You know what I mean, right? So imagine you're taking a picture Of course, if you're a new user, you will be doing this, and you'll bring it down, hold it. You see, you're wasting a lot of time. But if you do this, or you do this, you're saving a lot of time. So this is one way you can quickly get around the camera with the buttons and the layout. And as I said, don't hold your camera like this. Keep it closer, relaxed. And see, this is the horizontal orientation or landscape orientation. Now you can do this. This is vertical orientation, which is nowadays trending for social media contents, right? So make sure the trigger comes always on top. This is not a mandatory rule, but this is much more comfortable for your eyes and for your neck. Otherwise, you'll be doing this, right? So this way, the camera feels more comfortable on your hand and your neck. Now this is about composition techniques, all right? Rule of third, placement of your subject. You may have heard this. Placing your subject in any of this intersecting point. Now this applies for landscape orientation as well as portrait orientation or horizontal and vertical orientation. It communicates with your audience much quicker. The audience can pick up the subject very quickly where you place your subject. Was it clear? Yes. Next one is natural frames. Framing your subject or framing your scene inside another frame. It could be something like this, or it could be like a window in your house or apartment, or it could be simply just your hands. You know? So you're bringing your audience attention to the subject forcefully. You can use leading lines as well, by the way, and you can also use natural frames. One of the last compositions, there are many. Since we don't have much time, I'm just going to wrap it up with this composition technique, and then we will talk a few more things. Silhouette. It's a very simple technique to make your photograph look a little more interesting. Having a brighter background. Usually it is a sky, sunset, sunrise. And your subjects, which are something like this, can pretend to be some shape. You can create shapes. You can create different stories with this. Just like how you do with shadows. Sometimes you play with shadows, right? Exactly. That way you can create more interesting stories with silhouettes. Any questions? Are we good? How many of you own a camera here? Apart from the mobile phone? Yes. And how is it going? How do you rate yourself? 6.5?
I've had a Canon camera since 2008.
8?
I've always ever used Canons. I had the 550D, 1000D, and currently I'm using the 90D.
Wow.
I've loved Canons, and for my use, I'm a hobbyist / I use it for work. I'm not a photographer, but I do use it for some work requirements, sometimes content creation, sometimes food photography, portrait photography as part of my work, but I don't work as a photographer. I love Canon. I've just started with it, and I got used into the ecosystem and the platform. It worked quite well. But up until now, I still have not decided upon the move to mirrorless. The entire world have moved to mirrorless, the cameras, the lenses, the accessories. I'm just not used to it. A lot of people here are taking pictures all around us. I see them clicking the button. I don't hear the sound. It doesn't feel like a picture to me. It feels fake to me. So that and many other reasons, till now I'm sticking with DSLR until it stops working. Or maybe I get a new mirrorless camera, but yeah, Canon for me.
Great, great. Have you tried using the mirrorless cameras? we do have the feature of having complete silence inside the camera, and you can also have the noise. You can not get the same DSLR noise because you know the mirror is physically moving. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but then why don't you just, once we are done here, please visit. We have the, good lineup over there. You can try even the new cinema camera as well. So, oh yeah, others, please. Who else has a camera? You said, which one do you have? R5. MashaAllah, that's good. I do use an R5. Yes. Anyone else? Yes.
I was using a Canon camera till 2017. Then I switched to Fujifilm. Now an ambassador.
Great. Okay.
Canon was really good. To bring the mirrorless, so I switched to Fujifilm.
Good for you. What about you?
Same here. I'm the one who made him switch to Fuji.
Okay.
I was using a Canon. Now I'm using a Sony as well as a Fuji. I'm comfortable with that system. I mean, Canon ecosystem is very good, easy for everyone.
Okay.
Making the switch was a bit tough, but now comfortable
I
with
hope
that.
you find a U-turn soon.
Hopefully.
Okay. Who else? Anyone else on this side? Which one? Nikon. Nice. Okay. So I just want to quickly talk about, I have more professional photographers and content creators here, but I'm just going to share a few things which I know which could help many new photographers, about cameras, because there are many who are so intimidated by the cameras, and that's one reason they stick to their phone. I just want to make them understand how the camera functions. And as he said, you adjust the light. Exactly, you can do it, and you can get the result exactly what you want. So I'm just going to talk about the technical part for a brief second. As you know, this camera is two different parts, right? The lens and the camera body, right? The light goes through the lens. It reaches the sensor. This is how the photo is being captured. If you remember, I don't know whether I'm going to sound too old. How many of you have used film cameras? Yeah, thank God. Okay, so do you know where you were inserting the films? It's at the back side, yeah? So the light used to go through the lens. It used to hit this film back in the days when we had the analog cameras. Today we have the digital cameras, whether it's a DSLR or mirrorless. We don't have films. Instead, we have sensor. So the destination for the light when it goes inside is to reach the sensor. How much light reaches the sensor decides how bright or dark your image is or video is with regards to. So there is an element inside your lens called aperture, which you can see here, right? The diagram is wrong. It's not the blue thing which is the aperture, it's the hole inside. You see, this is aperture. You can make it bigger and smaller. Now look at the diagram. At the end, you can see the sensor. How much light reaches the sensor depends on how open or closed the aperture is. So if you make the aperture bigger, your photo can be brighter, yes or no? Yeah? And then, if you make the aperture smaller, tinier, your photo can be darker as well. There is an after effect to it, which we will talk about if we have time. But before that, once the light passes the aperture through the lens, it enters the camera body. Now, when it enters the camera body, you have something called shutter. Earlier, he mentioned about the mechanical shutter. We have mechanical, electrical shutter, electronic shutter. So this is the aperture, this is the sensor. The shutter is open here, and this is how it is. This is what happens inside your camera. The shutter opens and closes. Now this phenomena is about a time. It's about a duration. Let's try to count it. Not this one. Let it close. Yeah, let's count now. 1, 2, 3. Let's assume that was 3 seconds. So the 3 seconds, the shutter remained open. So the light was hitting the sensor for 3 seconds. If you make it 10, the light will hit for 10 seconds. If you make it 20, the light will hit for 20 seconds. If you make it like this, the light will hit for a fraction of a second. Which one would give you a brighter picture? The longer duration, right? So this is called shutter speed. You slow down, your picture becomes brighter. You make it faster, your picture may get darker, of course. It depends on the light source as well. This is your foundation. Shutter speed, aperture, and the last one is ISO. I'll talk about ISO at the end. Changing shutter speed can make your picture brighter and darker. Changing aperture can make your picture brighter and darker. The last one is ISO. ISO, in simple words, is called artificial light. It is something associated with the sensor. It's the sensitivity of the sensor. You change ISO, you can gain more light, and you change ISO, you can lose light. It's like you're wearing a sunglass. So this is the definition, how it is. So there are 3 things you need to control inside your camera. Shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. Which one comes first? Doesn't matter. It's your choice. Because when you change shutter speed, when you change aperture, a lot of things happen apart from light. Now, if you think these things are very, very hectic for you, Canon's camera have an additional feature called SCN. Now, before I talk about SCN, let me show you the mode dial. There are different modes: automatic mode, manual mode, AV mode, TV mode, and all these modes are there. You can choose whichever you want. But if you feel these things are too complicated for you and you want to take just pictures just like the way you do it on your phone, you can choose A+. I do agree the flash pops up and maybe ruins your picture, but then if you don't want to have that, most of the cameras comes with this mode, which is called SCN, special scene. In this mode, you get a variety of presets. For example, do you want to take a picture of a moving car? Do you want to stop the car? Do you want to pan and get a motion blur shots? All these presets are given inside the camera, so you just choose what you want, take the picture, and apply the basics which we learned, which is holding the camera, getting the horizon level correct, getting the vertical level correct, placing the subject, and that's it. So this is how the camera UI looks like, the layout. This is called a shooting screen. This is just for an example. I hope you can see my pointer right here, the red one. The bottom one, you see the 1/100 is shutter speed. So shutter speed is about the time, right? So 1/100 doesn't mean 100 seconds. Many of you know that. It's 100th of a second. It's fast. If you go to the right side, it might go to 1/4000, it might go to 1/8000. This is the fastest shutter speed. If you go to the left side, it might go to 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and even another mode called bulb mode. It can remain open for as long as you want. Secondly, what you see here is the aperture. This number, 3.5. Usually you see aperture associated with this alphabet, F, 3.5, f1.8, f22. This is aperture. The confusing part, or the non-confusing part with aperture is you can make your aperture bigger when the number is smaller. And you can make the aperture smaller when your number is bigger. Not at all confusing, right? But this is how it is, right? So this is aperture, and the last one is ISO. In my opinion, if you're completely new to the cameras and you want to learn more, I would say you can leave the ISO automatic for time being until you get comfortable with shutter speed and aperture. Your camera will still give you a decently exposed pictures, but then that is a very good step you are taking if you are going ahead with the professional cameras, whether it is a DSLR or mirrorless cameras. Now, there is something I want to ask you. How do you zoom while taking pictures? Going back, when you take pictures or video with your phone, how do you zoom in and zoom out? Like this, with your phone. Yeah, this is the way you do it. Zoom in, zoom out. Who tells you to zoom in and zoom out? Who tells you to zoom in and zoom out? Depends upon what is in there in your head, right? You decide. Exactly. On cameras, it is this way. You rotate it. The newer cameras, for example, the R50V, which is created for content creators, they made it even more easier. It has a power zoom lens, which means you just press and hold it. The lens zooms in and zooms out. You don't even need to turn this. That's a new feature we have on the content creator cameras. But my question here is, again, I don't like to look at the screen because of the orientation, the stretch. Both the pictures are stretched. Anyway, do you see the difference between these two pictures? I don't know how easy it is. I'm finding it really difficult to understand the difference, but I hope you get it. Yeah, the whole screen is stretched, but besides the stretched screen, yeah, the distortion and the focal length. So this is 15 mm. It's like wide, and that is 45 mm. That's like a bit closer. There's nothing special with these numbers. The lens I was using was giving me 15 as the wide and 45 as the max. So that's why you see these numbers here. But the point is, what is the difference in picture 15 and picture 45 mm? And I really want your answers here. What do you think the difference is here? Okay, anybody says one is bad, one is good? Does anyone have that opinion? It is better, but do you think this is bad? Yeah.
I said distortion because 15 mm is too close to the subject. It adds distortion, so it changes the proportions of the face.
Yeah.
That's not how she actually looks. She looks closer to that.
Yes, closer
because
to this
the
one.
angle or the distance between the camera and the subject
It's too close.
Too
in
close
the wide angle
and too distorted.
It ruins the structure of your face.
Yes.
You're right. But where do you think, okay, if the subject was a little far away from the camera, you're talking like it was here, yes, it distorts your face. Yes, that's one lesson you should get from this. When you use wide angle lens and if you want to take a person's picture, okay, if you want to do creative style, yes, you can go for it. But if you want to do a normal way, keep the subject far away from the lens. Now, where can you apply this focal length in taking a picture of a person?
far away, in a group, in a large landscape orientation.
Very good. Group. What if it is just me? For example, one person.
Landscape.
Landscape.
So you with the view behind you. Niagara waterfalls, a line in the back.
Yes.
So I want to capture you and the background, not just you.
Yeah. So the basic idea about landscape, what people think the normal world is, landscape is about nature. Yeah? So when you have a person and the landscape at the back, there's a new term, people use it a lot, is travel photography. You can call it travel photography, or if you're on a street, you can call it street photography. So these are the places where you can, why? Because it shows the subject and it shows the place.
The story with them.
Yes, it shows the environment. So this is one thing you need to also understand. So it's the same lady, same camera, but the zoom is different. But two different stories. The first picture shows where she stands. You can understand where she is. The second picture, the importance is only to the person. Do you agree to that? So this is how you should decide as like how whether to zoom in and zoom out. Just to give you an idea how the focal length is. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time. I'll have 5 more minutes. I'll see what I can talk in 5 more minutes. Maybe I can give you some tips. I wanted to talk about shutter speed. I wanted to talk about all these things, but if you really want to learn about these things, I don't know whether you have this facility. If the organizer is listening to this, please do vote. So maybe we can have this session tomorrow or day after or the next day. If it is possible, then I can talk about all this technicality about the cameras and photography as well. But now, since I don't have time, I'm going to quickly jump into the tips and tricks side. How many of you are familiar with manual mode? Yes? So in manual mode, sometimes it could be difficult to get the settings correct, But there is a technique which you can apply in most of the cases when you're shooting outdoors, daytime. It is called Sunny 16 rule. If you haven't heard about it, you can Google it. I'm not lying. Yes? So, Sunny 16 rule is very simple. If you have a camera and you want to take pictures in manual mode, just like a pro, there's a technique which you can apply. As I said, outdoors, daytime. During broad daylight, when you have bright sky, which is usually very common in the Gulf countries, yeah? You can just set your aperture f16 and whatever your ISO number is. For example, if your ISO is 100, you just need to reciprocate that number as your shutter speed. As you saw, the shutter speed is in fraction most of the time. 1/100, 1/250, 1/1000. It goes like that. If you go slower, then the fraction goes off. But we don't usually take pictures as in handheld pictures in slower shutter speed. Although the newer Canon cameras does help you to take pictures in, I believe, 1 second handheld. Yes, very good stabilization. As I said, you will see the U-turn soon. Okay, so the aperture f16 and whatever your ISO number is, reciprocate that number. So if it's just a bit of maths here. So normal numbers are called 100, 200, 400, 800. It goes on. This is how ISOs are seen on camera. So if you reciprocate that number, it becomes a fraction. So if it is 100, if you reciprocate that number, it becomes 1/100. Yes, which can be your shutter speed. If it is a 600 ISO or 800 ISO, reciprocate that number, you get 1/800. That will be your shutter speed, and you can apply this to get many kinds of pictures outdoor. In different lighting situation, you just need to change your aperture. So the first one is f16, second one is f11, and overcast sky, where the sunlight comes through the clouds. When you have a soft light, you can choose f8, f5.6. Sunrise, sunset, you can try f4. So this technique can get you some nice tone pictures with good quality. Yeah. That's about it. Before I get to the question Q&A part, I just want to share a few things, what I've learned. There are many things, but 7 is my birthday, and I'm the 7th son, and I really love the number 7. I live in a country where we have 7 emirates, so I just have 7 things for you to remember. Understand the rule of thirds, where we discuss the frame part, where you place a subject. Guys, by the way, placing the subject in the center is also not wrong at all. You can do it. That is also a way of rule of third, because rule of third is like dividing your screen into 3 equal parts horizontally and vertically. Yeah, it's not just about placing it on that point or down or up. You can place them anywhere you want. When you take portrait pictures, make sure your focus is on the subject's eyes. And the cameras nowadays have this feature called eye focus, which means the camera automatically focuses on the face, but the primary focus will be the eyes. So eyes are the life of a portrait. If the eyes are blurred out in the picture, it looks lifeless. So life of a portrait lies in eyes. But let me ask you this question. But if you are taking a picture for a lipstick ad or maybe a nose piercing, where would you be focusing? Sorry? On the nose, on the product, or on the lips? Because that's your subject. So you see, these rules are not just made to follow. It's for you to understand what we are trying to do with these rules. Next, pay attention to the background. Try to make your background more simple. At the same time, try to make it interesting. Try to avoid anything which would cause a distraction to your subject. Be careful with your on-camera flash. As I said, the on-camera flash are available on the basic cameras, on high-end cameras. Although you pay more, you don't get a flash. That means these flash usage are not considered professional. The reason, number one, is because you cannot control their power. Number two, you cannot control their direction. It's just straight on flash, which makes you look like a victim, maybe, or a suspect. Shoot early in the morning or in the evening. Don't get me wrong, you can shoot 24/7. But if you're doing outdoor photography, especially in this region, noon time, the sunlight is really harsh. It can cause undershadows, like over here, it's called raccoon eyes. It can also cause shadows here. It is not considered really pleasant to see, harsh lights in your subject. So unless you can control the light with some diffusers or reflectors, that's a different thing, but it's best to shoot in early morning and early evening because the sunlight is softer. And also, there's an old way of taking pictures. You see there is light coming from here, behind you, right? It is hitting my face. If you look at it, it's a decent exposure. But if I was taking someone else's picture here, I wouldn't be placing this person here and I wouldn't go there. I would rather place him here, let the light fall from behind or from the side. There was a technique, like everyone used to say, okay, the sun is there. Okay, face the sun, I'll take a picture because your face, your body, everything is going to be too bright. Yeah, it is bright, but then it may not have a lot of character. But if you place the subject in different side of your subject, it creates a character. It creates a style. It creates drama. So be careful where you place your light as well. Lastly, learn from your mistakes. Choose and understand your subject because the star of your picture is your subject. And something I recently realized is when you take a camera, when you start taking pictures, don't just look 360, this is 180 degree. What do you call it? 180 is 360. But no, if I want to look up and down, what do I call it? It is also 360, right? So yeah, don't just look front, side, and back. Try to shoot upwards and downwards too. You will see more beautiful things. So that's something I want to tell you. And most importantly, thank you so very much for being here, for the patience, for the support, for the love, and for the energy. Now, I'm not going to let you go. I've been asked to ask you 3 questions, and I think they have some exciting gifts for you. So, talking about questions, I'm trying to get the questions in my head. What is the best camera in this world? Okay, please pass the mic to him. let him answer. So my first question was, what's the best camera in this world?
I would say Canon, but it's not about the camera, it's about what you can do with it.
Okay.
I can get you the highest camera in the world, you cannot take a picture, you can get a mobile phone and win awards.
Okay. You want to answer? Okay. So how do we do it? Yeah.
Your eye is the best camera.
Okay. So I don't want to be unfair. All right. I'm going to let the audience decide who is the winner. Okay? Oh, you have more answers. Okay.
The best camera is the one you have.
Okay. Oh, he's making it more difficult now. Yes, exactly. So who's the winner? I need someone. Can Malcolm, please come on stage. Can you? Please come.
I believe the best camera is the eye. The eye, not the camera.
Thank you for making it more difficult to me. All right, so who's the winner? Who's the winner? It's very difficult for me. I think this goes to you. Thank you.
Take a picture.
Oh, is it? Okay, sure. You're welcome. Thank you so much. And Mr. All-Rounder, this is for you because you gave a beautiful answer too. Please come. What's your name? Amr, mashallah.
First pop-up camera.
Okay. I think this will be the beginning of your mirrorless camera journey. Yes. Okay. Yes. So, guys, thank you very much once again from the bottom of my heart. I really, really loved the energy and vibes you guys gave. Really appreciate your patience and love and support. As I said, Canon, we are here. Over there, right over there, you can see they have interesting cameras, and we have more workshops happening in the next couple of days till the end of this beautiful event. And thanks a lot, Qatar and the organizers here. Thank you, Mr. Thank you so very much.
This is a simple gift from us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's really an honor to be here. I hope you enjoyed the session. Did you? Are you going to vote for another session? Maybe more in detail? Yes, you can give a feedback and we will see. Thank you so much. Good night, guys. Drive safe home. Bye-bye.